Ladies and gentlemen, you know who it is. It's World of Wrestling. Here to discuss about the WWE Smackdown June 24th and AEW Rampage review. Yes, this is a live impromptu review here by your boy World of Wrestling. If you're stopping on in and you just happen to tune in for the video, hit that like button, smash it, elbow drop it, do whatever you gotta do, but hit the like button. Yes, we are going to be here for a little over an hour to discuss about AEW Rampage and WWE Smackdown. Smackdown was downright laughable, while AEW actually gave you more reason to want to tune in for the Forbidden Door pay-per-view, folks. And we got the first chat in the chat here. Adam3817 says, "Hey, I know your secret. I know you have a crush on the Netherlands. You can deny it all you want, but I know." Okay. I have no fucking idea what the hell you're talking about, Adam3817. But thanks for stopping by. Oh, boy. That's the first weird comment I ever came up with. Actually, it was another comment that came up on one of my other videos. But hey, what are you going to do? The Elemaster. Hey, man, long time no see. I haven't talked to you in a while. I haven't seen you in the chat. He has to say, I was looking back at the epic rivalry between Kane and Shane McMahon on Raw back in 2003. What are your thoughts on this rivalry? My thoughts on that is it was fucking awesome. That was a really cool rivalry, very enjoyable. It was actually the best rivalry Shane McMahon ever had in his career, actually, I'd have to say. There was another match he did back in 2009 against Randy Orton that I thought was good at No Way Out going into WrestleMania 25. That I thought was pretty good. But yeah, I think Shane and Kane was actually a very good rivalry throughout 2003. Brought out the best in Shane McMahon. Probably the best promo work by Shane as well. But he's always been a decent promo on in his career. Kane was terrifying, Alan Mester says. Yes, Kane was actually doing the best work outside of the first time he debuted in WWE in 1997. So, yeah, those two Kane versions were very much intimidating. They definitely looked scary, especially when they had him chained up and they had a towel over his head. That was pretty interesting. I enjoyed that. I thought it was pretty cool. Adam3817 responds back, says, I said that weird comment because I got a familiar comment the other day. Laugh out loud. Weird people on YouTube. Okay. Well, I don't know, man. I have no idea. But the LMester says the 03 one was more terrifying. Huh. I think it's kind of a toss up, but yeah, I'd have to agree. 2003 Kane was pretty damn badass. Definitely came across very freaky like did some freaky off the wall stuff like, attaching a battery to his nads and lighting him up and pretty much shocking the shit out of him. Adam3817 says that Kane 2003 theme song is great. Yes, I have to agree with you, Adam. That was an excellent theme song for him, and he had that for quite a while. Rachel Buck says, see, the last person to go into Money in the Bank will be Bailey for sure, and the last two for the men will be Mad at Moss. You mean Madcap Moss and The Miz, and then Money in the Bank will be complete. Okay, great. I'm not excited for Money in the Bank whatsoever. Folks, if you're coming on in, hit the like button, please. By all means, I greatly appreciate it. It helps out the channel, and I would greatly appreciate you guys to show some kind of support by leaving a like. Thank you very much for leaving that like, whoever that may have been. I appreciate you guys. Ellen Mester says, setting JR on fire was pretty bad. Yeah, I have to agree. That was pretty fucking badass. I know for a fact that wasn't really JR when they lit him up, though. Adam 3817 says, I liked your video, dude. Thank you very much for hitting the like button there, bro. I appreciate it. Even though the start out was actually kind of strange, but you explained why you said that, so I greatly appreciated it. Big On says Batista's theme song is good. Yes, I have to agree with you, Big On. That is true. And what is Kane's most evil moments in WWE? He has to ask me. I have no idea. I really don't. He's got so many damn moments, it's outrageous. So who the fuck knows? Adam 3817 also asks, are you excited for Lesnar and Reigns at SummerSlam? Hell no. Anybody in their right mind, if you've been following WWE for the last 7 years, you know for a fact you're not going to be excited about Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar again. This has been going on way too long. We don't need these consistent rematches. I'll get into what I think WWE needs to do with those WWE and Universal Championship belts under Roman Reigns, and I will explain that in just a moment. I've done this before, and I will do it again. Man, you guys are coming in fast and heavy with these freaking chats. I haven't even started the damn conversation about SmackDown. We're going to be here for a while, guys. If you guys would be so kind to slow down on the comments in the chat so I can read them off and then also do the review, I greatly appreciate it. But if not, I will just take my time and go through the entire review and then just come back to your comments. But damn, you guys are going crazy in the chat, man. Holy shit. Way fast for me to keep up with, man. Really insane. All right, Daniel says, hey, man, what's up? Daniel, appreciate the support, man. And if you be, I'd really appreciate it even more if you hit that like. Everybody, hit the like button, man. You guys came in here for a reason. You guys must enjoy my commentary. You must enjoy what I have to say here. So hit the like button. You know what you're going to get? You're going to get me being me being real, and me just tearing it up when it deserves to be torn up, and praising it when it deserves to be praised. And I got good criticism and I got good mindset about what is going on with this undisputed WWE Universal Championship, which I am going to get into. I talked about it on Raw. I'll talk about it on here because I do see a couple of new people in here in the chat. And Ella Mester, you may have not heard me on Raw. Watch along. If you did not catch that, you can go back and watch some of it. I wouldn't recommend watching all of it. It is way too long. Full 3 hours I watched. You got the guys that were in with me. You guys know what I did. And I actually got sick after watching it the next day. I literally woke up with a partial fever. So apparently WWE watch-alongs are not for me, but I think that's just coincidence. I don't think that really happened on account of the fact I watched Raw. But still, that is very interesting how I managed to get sick after watching Raw for 3 hours. All right. Anyway, let me get into the rest of these comments and chat in the chat and so forth. Let me get this damn thing down. This is a graduation present I got from high school, and I've kept it all these years. Anyway, but it does look silly in the background. Anyway, let's go over the comments also. Mester, Kane setting JR on fire and assaulting Shane in the hospital was sick. Yeah, I have to agree. That was pretty nuts. Rachel Bucks says, I see the most evil moments of Kane was when he knocked up Lita. Do you remember that? Yes, that was pretty off the walls too. That was in 2004. I've came across that storyline that led all the way through till mid 2005, which is where I'm at watching the show chronologically in that era. Matt 87 Eagles says that SmackDown sucked, but the Lightning won. That's a W in my book. Matt, I don't think anyone in the chat gives a flying fuck about the Lightning, and nobody is from Tampa Bay except for me. And I live near Tampa Bay. I don't actually live in Tampa, but I don't really care about the Lightning and the hockey league. I care about basketball and the NFL. So please spare us all about the Lightning. If any of you guys like hockey, well, and you're a fan of the Lightning, congratulations to all you guys who's actually in here who are a fan of the Lightning outside of Matthew. If Matt is the only person, well, then good for you, Matt. Have a wonderful time celebrating while stripping off your shirt and swinging it around like a crazy wild man. Anyway, the next comment in the chat was big on. He says, I'm watching the Raw leading up to the rematch between John Cena versus Brock Lesnar at Night of Champions. Holy shit, dude. What do? You watch WWE from 2014 every single day? Like all the episodes? I used to do that until I got hot and heavy with the YouTube channel with these reviews and live feeds that I keep doing. So I don't know, man. If you enjoy watching them, great, terrific, man. I'm happy for you. Rachel Buck and you see Pat McAfee just made an announcement that he wants to face Baron Corbin at SummerSlam. Yeah, I watched the entire episode of Smackdown. We'll be getting into that in just a moment once I can get through all these comments in the chat. So wow. All right. Ella Mester says, I thought the car crash was wicked. Yeah, that was a wicked moment in WWE history with Shane and Kane. You'll never see that kind of stuff in WWE. Hell, you won't even see that in AEW. I mean, AEW does some pretty extreme stuff, but not even that kind of moment will ever appear in AEW. At least I don't think it will at this point in time, but you never know. Adam3817 says, yeah, I've gotten strange comments. Some dude told me that I have a crush on Wendy Harris from the That 70s show. Super Friends. I don't even know who that is. YouTube is weird, man. Yeah, I managed to get a comment from some random person talking about how they're from another universe or they're from another time and that they wanted my opinion on some whacked out I'm like, dude, what the fuck are you talking about? Are you out of your damn mind? I said that right in the comments. You can clearly see that in one of my videos. I forgot what video it was, so I can't really give you guys the exact video to go look at the comments in the chat, but that was weird as shit. People are whacked. Elmester, yeah, he was just continuing what he was talking about the car crash. Sorry about that. And Matt 87 Eagles says, let me scroll down a little bit. All right. It says, where was the live watch along of SmackDown tonight? Matt, I went through 3 hours of misery and got sick. Why am I going to do that to myself again with SmackDown for 2 hours? I mean, I at least watched the show to give you guys a fucking review, and it was actually laughable. I didn't get as mad. I wasn't as bored as I was with Raw. I will admit that. But let's be real. SmackDown sucked. Oh, God, was it fucking terrible. I'm sure JD from New York 206 right now is saying the same exact thing I'm saying and saying AEW got us more excited for Forbidden Door than SmackDown is getting us excited for the Money in the Bank pay-per-view or even SummerSlam for that matter, because of the fact that that pay-per-view ain't that far away from Money in the Bank. Anyway, moving on. LMester says, Rachel, WWE is really good between 1996 and 2010. I'd have to agree with that comment. I mean, they did have their moments from 2010 up to now, but since like 2018, I think WWE's pretty much reached their point of no return. Like they're dead. They got a flat line. That's it. Plain and simple. All right. And Alan Mester says that now AEW is the big leagues. You really should see Dynamite. I've told Rachel this a bunch of times, Alan Mester. She won't listen to me. There's just some people you just can't reach. So she'll have to watch them until they die, because that's what's going to happen to WWE. They're going to die unless something drastic happens. Somebody takes over this company, or Vince McMahon has an epiphany out of nowhere and says it's time to actually do what's right for this company. But I doubt he will. He's all about the money. He cares only about getting that big paycheck at the end of the day. If you guys notice, every time he appears on TV, he looks worse than the last time we seen him. The guy looks like he's decrepit, like the fucking uh, Tales of the Crypt. That's what he looks like, man, with muscles on his chest. That's it. I mean, that's what Vince McMahon looks like nowadays. He's pathetic, really. I really honestly think he's dealing with some health problems that he's aware of, and he's trying to milk as much money as he wants, and that's it. Plain and simple. But that's just my viewpoint. I don't know. Maybe he doesn't have a health issue whatsoever. Maybe he's just getting old from what he does in his own personal life. I have no idea. Maybe he drinks a lot. Who the fuck knows? With his job, he probably does. That's why he's a walking whack job, coming up with terrible gimmicks and freaking storylines that make no sense. Which tonight there was plenty of that. This was definitely some insult to the intelligence, but also makes you want to laugh because of how fucking lame it was. All right. I'm going to get to a couple of more of these comments. If any more new chats come in after Big On's comment, I am going to stop and get right into the review and come back to where we left off on the comments in the chat. So if I don't happen to get yours before Big On, after Big On's, then I do apologize. But I need to get to the actual review. I'll be here all night. And I don't want to do that. I'm pretty much freaking drained as it is with work. I worked like 8 hours today. Sometimes I work 9. So I want to go ahead, get through this as much as I possibly can. And then we will go into any more comments that are made after Big On's comment here. So let me go ahead and further continue with these comments in the chat. Adam3817, I hate Happy Corbin's gimmick. What about you? Oh God, I think I've hated Baron Corbin since he turned into King Corbin. I like the Lone Wolf Corbin. That is it. Since he became these other gimmicks, I've hated him from day one. Being the CEO or the manager, not manager, but the booker of Monday Night Raw back in 2018, wearing a suit and tie and all that, shaving his head, that all that shit I've hated about Baron Corbin. I haven't liked him for a very long time. Anyway, then Adam 3817 states that another universe, ha ha ha. What did they say? They said some really off the wall stuff about what they're supposed to do with their slaves or some shit. I don't have a clue. It was off the walls, man. I couldn't even understand what the hell they were talking about. It was just nutty. Daniel says, if we got John Cena back, then I hope we get his little brother, Juan Cena, back as well. Huh? What are you talking about? I have no idea. What the fuck? Juan Cena. He has a brother? I didn't know that. Never seen that. LMester, a live reaction of Dynamite would be hype. Yeah, I'm thinking about doing that very soon. Possibly a major pay-per-view event for AEW. I already stated I may do an all-out live watch-along for that. So you guys may get that from me down the road in September. I'm not sure yet. I'll definitely confirm if I'm still doing that or not. But please bear with me. I do have a busy life outside of this, so I like to have a life too besides just doing this channel. So I like to have a little bit of a balance. But yeah, the Dynamite watch along is definitely in the card somewhere down the line very soon. Um, I've been doing a lot of live reviews and so forth. And haven't thought about doing these live reviews all the time. But recently they've been kind of going okay, and I've enjoyed interacting with you guys even more. So um, I hope this continues to be more successful for the channel. It seems like it's getting a little bit more progress, but I also like doing it doing a review on my cell phone, recording it, and then just uploading it for you guys because it makes it a lot easier for me to just do the review, move on, and go do my own thing and enjoy myself while you guys get to hear my commentary. You guys can always chat with me in the comments down below anyway. But this is fun as well, so no big deal. Anyway, Adam3817 says, "You think Madcap Moss? You like? You like Madcap Moss? I dislike him with a passion. Madcap Moss, since he's left Baron Corbin, I've kind of enjoyed his work. He's been a little bit more sincere. He's not like this idiotic comedian. So I kind of like him a lot better the way he is now. But the Madcap Moss that was with Baron Corbin, yes, I have to agree. He was fucking annoying. I liked when Drew McIntyre used to kick his ass earlier this year. It was nice. But seeing it over and over again, no, thank you. Once is good enough. Adam3817 also states Tales from the Crypt. Ha ha ha. Good one. He's referring to when I was calling Vince McMahon looking like a Tales from the Crypt type guy. And this is the last one, and then we'll get right into the review here because I want to get into that and give you guys my thoughts. Big On says, "What will happen to Vince if Vince passes away?" Um, Possibly Stephanie and Triple H will do the honors of taking care of it, or we may see Nick Khan trying to weasel his way into the WWE control and rip away the stranglehold of the McMahons with the stranglehold of WWE away from the McMahons. So that's the only thing I could see that could take place is the McMahons takes control of it, or Nick Khan looks for a way to get rid of the McMahons completely so he can run it himself. I'm not sure. Totally up for a debate on that one. But good question. Thank you for asking that. Anyway, let's get into the SmackDown review. It wasn't much. It was downright laughable if you want to get technical. So the very beginning starts off in a very terrible start. I mean, really terrible, terrible start. We open up with Drew McIntyre and Sheamus. Drew McIntyre pretty much talking about how he's going to go ahead um, about, winning the Money in the Bank briefcase, challenging Roman Reigns at the next pay-per-view, which is Clash of the Castle. And he wants a fight Roman Reigns for the undisputed Universal Championship. Again, folks, we keep discussing about how these titles are being separated. They're not. They're not. I had Matt 87 Eagle. I talked to him on the phone while I took a break from SmackDown. Was telling him some of the off of the wall things, and we started discussing about that. And he said, "Look, man, fuck you. I don't want to hear." Well, he was getting mad about the Lightning game because the Lightning were losing, but um, he basically thinks that JD is right, that the titles will be separated while Roman Reigns is champion. Drew McIntyre is only going to challenge for one title. And let me ask you guys one question. How does that make sense? Let's be honest. How does that make any fucking sense to do that? If you're a guy who sees a champion with two championship belts, why wouldn't you want both titles? I mean, that is insane. If I'm a challenger and this Money in the Bank briefcase thing is challenging just the one champion, okay? You're not challenging him for one title, you're challenging him for being the undisputed Universal Champion. So you're going to be challenging for both titles when you say undisputed titles. So let's get real. Okay, let me just break this down for any new people. He's in the chat already shooting his mouth off about this. We've already discussed this, Matt. You don't have to state your piece anymore. You've stated it to me. I understand. Now I'm trying to explain it to the viewers of the channel besides just you. I've already belt this into you a bunch of times, so you don't need to go ahead and debate it with me. We've already done it. It's all good. I get your point, but I'm telling you my point of view, and you're not agreeing, so that's fine. Come back when I'm done talking about this because it's something that you and I don't agree on. It's all good. It's fine. But I don't see any logic in it, and I'll explain to the people that haven't heard this yet, or if the people that have heard it, you're going to hear it again if you happen to agree. Adam 3817, Matt versus World of Wrestling, WrestleMania 30. Adam 38, Adam 3817, bro. You're the first. This is the first time I've ever talked to you in the chat. And I gotta say, man, that was the funniest fucking comment I've ever read on this channel. Holy shit. Oh, hey, Matt, you want to say you'd win? Daniel says our match would be better than Roman Reigns and The Rock for sure. Yo, Matt, I think we ought to talk to the bastard in Stamford, Connecticut about hooking us up for a match. Who gives a shit who would win? We'd make a ton of fucking money. We'd be able to own our own damn houses. Wow. Bro, Adam 3817, amazing comment. Daniel, nice follow-up. That was great commentary by the both of you, man. Holy shit. That was funny. Oh, damn. Daniel says, better than Raw or SmackDown combined. This is going to be a good match. All right, guys, enough. This is just terrible fantasy booking. Come on. All right. Anyway, let me get into this. So basically, the situation is that he's challenging for Roman Reigns' 2 titles. He doesn't mention specifically just the Universal Championship, but he refers more towards the it's for both titles. He's only talking about the 2 titles. He's not talking about just specifically the Universal Championship. My idea, and I want you guys, especially Adam 3817 and Daniel, you're both talking away with each other, which is cool. No problem, man. I'm not going to read those comments on here on the live feed or anything, since it has nothing to do with interacting with me directly. But if you guys want to chat to one another, by all means, go ahead. But for the new people that are in here that I haven't really spoken to about this, honestly, I think Roman Reigns should drop the titles after he beats Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam. I think the night on the next episode on SmackDown, he should come on there and say, "Look, I've beaten you all." Should be the last segment on the show in the first week, the first episode of SmackDown after SummerSlam. He should come on to the pay-per-view, the SmackDown show, last segment of the show, and say, look, I've done it all, man. I've beaten everybody. I own both championships. There's no one else to challenge me. I've beaten fucking Drew McIntyre. He wants a shot at my titles. You know what? Anybody can have a shot at my titles at this point. Because the bottom line is, I'm done. I'm the longest reigning world champion in this modern day era, and I've beaten them all. And I have nothing more to prove. Drops both of the championships. He walks away for a couple of months until we get to WrestleMania 39, where he comes back and he faces The Rock at WrestleMania, and we get these two to face each other. My idea of introducing this match, or this concept of this match to take place, is how this would be done. Remember back in 2011 for WrestleMania 27, they had The Rock be the host of WrestleMania. Well, they could do the same thing here. They could have The Rock supposedly, quote unquote, become the announced host of WrestleMania, which would then bring back Roman Reigns, I would say, after the Royal Rumble in February, to ignite a match between him and The Rock. The Rock would go ahead and say, "What the hell are you doing here?" And he could go ahead and look at him and say, "I'm the head of the table. I've been rocking it and killing it in this damn company for a long time, and I've beaten them all. And I'm the head of this table." And The Rock could look at him and say, "Yeah, you haven't beat me yet, bitch. So just bring it." And we could just go from there. And you know what else could happen from that point on. The Rock would smear the Roman Reigns in the commentary end of this whole buildup. That's pretty much what we get. I mean, we could get The Rock in a little bit of a tussle with Roman Reigns in certain aspects, um, such as, like, The Rock getting ready to look like he was going to do a rock bottom to Roman Reigns, like The Rock used to do with Stone Cold, and Stone Cold would do it with him when they led up to WrestleMania. That kind of stuff. Bring some old school elements back to building up towards a WrestleMania match. So those are just my thoughts and what I think they should do. And then the two titles can be separated: WWE Championship Raw, Universal Championship on SmackDown still. And they just do the actual whatchamacallit. I'm trying to think of what the fuck I'm talking about. Yeah, they just do an actual tournament for both the Universal and WWE Championships, and that would be the title matches at the Clash of the Castle. That's what I would do, plain and simple. So that's all. That's all I have to say on that. But Drew McIntyre was issuing the idea that once he wins the briefcase, he wants to challenge Roman Reigns. Sheamus comes out. He says, "Well, I'm the guy who actually won the briefcase and beat Roman Reigns back in 2015 Survivor Series." Well, Adam Pearce and Paul Heyman came out during this segment, and this was the most bizarre and retarded thing I could ever see in any real booking mindset or creative writing. And it clearly shows that this company is as dead as a fucking corpse. Um, their brilliant idea is that Paul Heyman said, Paul Pierce's or Adam Pierce's idea has changed, and we don't think it would be fair that in a last man standing match we should be having someone be able to cash in on him. We think that would be unfair, and Adam Pierce would like to make an announcement. Because you guys have not actually won the match, it was a double count out. Nobody really pinned the other or lost to the other. We are now going to put you guys in a tag team match against the undisputed tag team champions. Again, folks, the iteration of undisputed, meaning there's no other champions around. There's no other champions. There's just one. That is the Usos. They're challenging, they're being challenged, they're supposed to be facing Sheamus and Drew McIntyre in the main event of tonight's SmackDown's episode. So you're telling me that you have no other better idea to do this except to have except to have these two guys who are in a tag team with the tag team titles to lose to a non-tag team group. That is the most illogical and dumb thing I've ever heard. But laughable at the same fucking time. Really, it is really laughable that they would do something like that. Utterly ridiculous. Fucking lame. But that's the way they decided to go. And of course, you guys already know what the situation was. All right. So we go to Sami Zayn and Shinsuke Nakamura for the Money in the Bank qualifying match. This was actually a very good match. Very enjoyable, actually, may I say. This was very fun to watch. These two guys really kicked each other's ass and gave us probably the best match I've seen in the last 2 weeks of watching WWE live like you're supposed to. And I haven't been watching WWE since WrestleMania, and I'm just kind of getting that, like, wanting to watch it for some strange reason. I don't know why, and I'm not liking it either. It's just really fucking bizarre. But I'm sitting here and I'm watching the fucking program, and I'm just going, boy, these matches suck. But this one, man, I started watched Smackdown last week, and I got to admit to you guys, this was a good match, a very good match. Um, Probably the best match out of the bunch that I've seen in the last week and a half. So kudos to WWE for producing this match. Whoever actually did this and set this match up the way it was excellent. Sami Zayn did win with a haluva kick to qualify for the Money in the Bank briefcase. So congratulations to him. That's terrific. We then have the New Day. Oh my God, this was actually this was actually an excellent. Um, this is an excellent fucking deal, man. With the New Day. The New Day actually go ahead and they cut a promo with Jinder Mahal and Shanky. Oh god, what a fucking who the hell comes up with these names? They took LA Knight, which by the way, I didn't really care for LA Knight. I prefer Eli Drake a lot better than LA Knight, but LA Knight was still an okay name in my book. But this Maxi Dupree? I mean, wasn't there a guy named Dupree? Trying to remember what his first name was. Rene Dupree. He was a Frenchman. He was in this tag team, the French Canadians or some shit. I don't remember. I'd have to go back to the Ruthless Aggression era episodes to catch this. They've won the tag team titles, I think, like 2 times on Raw. And then Rene Dupree went over to SmackDown, challenged John Cena for the United States Championship. But yeah, it was La Resistance. Thank you, Matt. I appreciate that. Yeah, La Resistance. I forgot their damn name. Holy shit. It was long ago that I was watching those episodes either. Gee, it just goes to show you guys I didn't particularly care for that group or remember them all that well. Even one of the characters from La Resistance got their own personal flag shoved up their ass by Batista in 2005. I think it was leading up to the Royal Rumble or afterwards. To hype up his choice on who he's facing for the World Championship at WrestleMania 21. But yeah, the Max Dupree, come on, man. Are you kidding? But yeah, Shanky decided to break dance for us. Oh, brother. What a fucking joke. They got the New Day making Shanky look like a dipshit. I guess apparently they're missing out on a third person, so they're trying to find a replacement for Big E. What a terrible choice that is. if that's what they're going with. Holy fuck. Oh, man. Holy shit. Oh, man. Oh, man. I have no idea. But let me take a small break here. Man, you guys are really. I don't know if I'm going to be able to read all your comments and respond to them. I mean, not all of them are really talking to me. I know that Adam and Daniel were talking to each other. But let me go over some of these comments here. Oh, fuck. Jeez Louise. You guys are crazy with these comments tonight, man. All right. I got quite a few of them. So I'm going to rush through them real quick and answer them as quickly as I can. Adam 3817 says the lone wolf is awesome. Other gimmicks of him suck. Yep, that's what I said earlier. Yeah, I'm not going to go into the discussion about the freak on the comment section in one of my videos that I was talking about earlier. Yeah, he was pretty weird. Anyway, Big On says SmackDown versus Raw 2009. Okay, whatever. I don't know. Daniel says I was making fun of the Ezekiel gimmick, but it's John Cena's masked limited gimmick from 2010, Juwan Cena, where he wore a mask in live events. If you Google Juwan Cena, you'll know what I mean. Haha. Adam 3817 responds back, says, Daniel, I Googled it and I know what you're talking about. Oh my gosh. Really? This is bizarre. I ought to check this out after I get done with this live feed. Big On says, WWE is better when we were kids. Yeah, no kidding. Matt 87 Eagle says, the titles are separated, and once World of Wrestling is proven wrong, he'll shave his head bald. Yeah, I'm not gonna do that, Matt. No thanks. Uh, discussing about the WrestleMania 39 fantasy booking by Adam 3817, which again is still laughable as fuck. Anyway, Daniel says, oh yeah, I already read that read that comment. And Daniel and Adam were going through talking with each other, so I'm not gonna go through all that. Adam 3817 liked my idea about the Roman Reigns dropping the titles and then coming back to face The Rock. Appreciate the agreement there. I'm glad you like the idea. And Daniel says, don't get me wrong, I was glad Roman won at Mania, but what was the point of the belts if he's just going to be going away for a while? At least give a young star a chance like Riddle or someone else. Well, Riddle wasn't built up well enough, and they could have continued to build him up after that match that they had last week, but they continue to have Riddle worry too much about Randy Orton and him trying to get validation with Randy Orton to say he's good enough as a wrestler. That's what this whole problem is with Matt Riddle. It's one thing to be friends and be partners, but it's another thing to constantly look for validation and approval by someone as if they're your father figure. It's very odd and it's very weird. I don't particularly like it, and he also was looking for sympathy when he lost the match, and he was talking about it on Raw this past week. I thought it was terrible way of trying to help build him into a mega star. That's not doing the right thing. It's time for him to tap into that serious Matt Riddle and really start doing something more than what he's doing. But they're not digging into that. They're leaving him stuck where he was, and he looks pathetic. He doesn't look like a main eventer or a person that's evolving from where he was at when he was with Randy Orton. I was going to say Matt Riddle. But you get my point. When he was with Randy Orton, he's still that same guy when Randy Orton went down with injury. So there's nothing being evolved here so that eventually when Randy Orton does come back, we get that serious storyline being told between these two guys, as if Randy Orton is pissed off for Riddle for forgetting about him and thinking more about himself than about the team that they were a part of. They're missing out on a lot of good concepts that could be built up in long-term booking in the future. But then again, they're lucky they could book things from week to week or day to day. This company is so out of whack and so distorted, it's ridiculous. But hey, it is what it is. You got to take it for what it is, because at this point, who the fuck cares? We can't do anything about it. We can sit here and talk about it, have like a fucking um um a therapy session about this and stress our feelings about it and get upset about it and let it out. But at the end of the day, Vince ain't changing nothing, because if we were going to see change, we'd have seen it already after all these years. We're not gonna. So accept it for what it is, or just don't watch it, period. My opinion is, don't fucking watch it. I watch it for this channel and interact with you guys, because you guys seem to kill it when we do these WWE reviews. AEW, you guys do catch it and interact with me. Christopher does a lot. Christopher Carter, he does comment a lot on the AEW shows, never on WWE, barely at all. But honestly, guys, I mean, there's nothing we can do. We can sit here, we can discuss it. All the major YouTubers in the the YouTube community can do whatever they want. They can say, "Oh, they need to do this and they need to do that," and da 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 da. It ain't going to change nothing. We can sit here, express our opinions, our ideas, do whatever we want, but at the end of the day, we have to expect one thing and one thing only by WWE. Fucking failure, man. Failure. That's what we should expect every single time. And hope and pray they bury themselves in that failure, because that's the only way we're going to get change. Anyway, moving on. Daniel also says, but no, we get Brock. Like, give me a break. Yeah, I agree, Daniel. 100%, man. And we get in a last man standing match, which they could have had that a long time ago. Fuck, they could have had that at WrestleMania 38. It would have been a hell of a lot better than what we're getting now. We've seen them in enough singles matches to kill a fucking horse. They could have done Hell in a Cell at WrestleMania 38 to make this a hell of a lot better. They didn't do nothing. It was just a simplistic, normal, everyday match. That's all it was. And it sucked. Adam3817 says, hey, Daniel, random question. Let me know if I'm annoying. Have you played? Oh, okay. Never mind. They were talking about gaming stuff. Never mind. I'm not going to read all that stuff that they discuss in the chat. Daniel asked me, what's your thoughts on Ezekiel gimmick? Well, technically, he was asking Adam3817. I'll give you my thoughts on him. I think he sucks. Elias is as good as you're going to get, and they're making Elias like the three faces of Foley. That's all this is. Next thing you know, they'll start naming off Ezekiel, Elias, whatever the guy, whatever is the main character he's playing now, which is Ezekiel, giving out his real name, which would be probably the smartest thing for them to do, just to break the third wall. But hey, that's just me. Adam3817 says, I think Ezekiel's gimmick is kind of funny. I have to agree with you on that, Adam, but it's getting kind of old pretty quick. I have to admit that. Daniel says, not going to lie, I missed the Elias gimmick. Adam3817. All right, they're going back and forth about that. I'm not going to go constantly through that. I got other things I got to cover here on the channel. So I apologize to you too. But enjoy, keep talking to each other if you guys are still doing that. All right, Matt87 Eagle says, and yet have no challengers, talking about the unified or undisputed tag team champions. Yeah, there's really no one that can challenge Roman Reigns at this point. No one's really legitimate and legitimately have a right to challenge for the damn undisputed Universal Championship belts at all. They have no rights. They suck. Seth Rollins has no right. Drew McIntyre has no right. Drew McIntyre has lost to fucking Roman Reigns for the in that Survivor Series 2020 match that they had 2 years ago. Drew McIntyre has not done anything relevant, big, or important in the last 2 years since losing the WWE championships or WWE championship. He has been trash. Terrible, running around with a fucking sword that he can't use on people. Who the hell gives a shit? He does not deserve to become champion. Matt Riddle, I was pressing for him to later on in the year challenge for the WWE championship, win the Royal Rumble, or even have a draw between himself and Finn Balor. Or no, not Finn Balor, him and Drew McIntyre, but Drew McIntyre would have had the whole entire year, this year, building up wins, and Matt Riddle doing the same. Matt Riddle also, my prediction was to have Matt Riddle win a mid-card championship like the United States Championship, and then eventually move on, win the Royal Rumble, and himself and Drew McIntyre eliminating each other and giving them both a right for a championship opportunity. And then you could separate the two titles, giving both shows an opportunity to have their own major championship. That was my other and big idea. But again, Matt Riddle and nobody else are being built up to do anything important on this fucking show. So there you go. Adam 3817 states that this current era in the wrestling world keeps getting stranger. Big E's neck injury, Sasha and Naomi leaving, Vince McMahon scandal, and Jeff Hardy arrested. Yeah, that's fucking big ass problems there, man. Adam 3817 is a lot of strange wrestlers from early 2000s. Early 2000s was great stuff, man. If you don't believe me, go on Peacock if you got a subscription and go watch it, man. It is great stuff. Very entertaining. Better than anything you'll ever watch on WWE's current product. Hell, even WCW in their worst days is better than this shit. But that's just me. Adam 3817 also states, do you like Shanky? Ha ha ha. No, I think he's absolutely retarded. And Adam 3817 also says, you're awesome, dude. I appreciate the compliment. And I hope if you aren't subscribed to the channel, please go ahead and subscribe. You're more than welcome to join if you're not already joined to the channel. And I am here every single week uploading at least 3, 4, 5 videos a week, guaranteed to entertain and rock your socks off. I even do parody videos. If you haven't looked at any of my parody videos, you can scroll through some of my videos. I got some about Bruce Pritchard and Vince McMahon, Triple H and Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard. I got a ton of stuff. Very enjoyable stuff. I'm subscribed. I subscribed yesterday when I found your channel. Well, I appreciate that, Adam. If you want to go check out some of the actual parody videos, you can definitely do so. And you'll have to kind of scroll down. I do apologize. I haven't put them in a playlist to make it easier for everybody. So I do apologize. That's my fault, not yours. But if you don't mind and you want to look for some of those parody videos, you kind of scroll down a little bit, you'll find some of these parody videos that I did that are like 2-3 minutes long. I did a Mickey Mouse channel, a Mickey Mouse video of Mickey Mouse possibly Disney actually owning the WWE at some point down the line. So I made a little funny video on that about Mickey Mouse and how he hates children and so forth. Adam 3817 says, hey dude, back in 2018, I hated Brock Lesnar when he was the Universal Champion. I was much younger. I actually thought Lesnar was a bad guy because he was part-time, never showing up. Haha. Now I know it was just a gimmick. Well, he wasn't showing up because he's on a part-time schedule. He's an older guy. He's put his body through a lot of stuff with wrestling and MMA with UFC. So he's dealt with a lot of stuff. I think he's earned it, but at the same time, they've really not put him in matches that mean anything of importance anymore. And that's a bit of a problem, but hey, it is what it is. Anyway, let's move on here, man. I'm 54 minutes in and I still have not gotten into this review yet. Anyway, Ginger, Shanky, they're busy talking with the fucking New Day. And one thing that came out of New Day's mouth is they're not going to face Shanky and Jinder Mahal because they don't believe in doing rematches. Correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't that all we ever see in WWE is rematches? 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, every single episode is a rematch. So how is this any different? This is stupid. One of the dumbest comments I ever heard in my life. I actually missed that. I might have skipped over it, but my friend Matt 87 Eagle, he told me that they actually said that. He heard that from JD from New York 206 when they stated that, and he saw that in the whatchamacallit in the Twitter feed that he has. But yeah, the Viking Raiders appear on the Titantron and then appear in the ring, and they attack the New Day and also Shanky. So the deal is that the Viking Raiders are now heels. Okay, terrific. I love it. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to think about this. I don't think it's going to do them any good anyway. Adam Pearce is in the office with Sonya Deville, where she rolls up to him. She says she watched him go out there and take Sheamus and Drew McIntyre out of the Money in the Bank, and she got a secondhand embarrassment. And it's a classic Adam Pearce making excuses after excuse. And what's his excuse for the women's division? If she were him, she'd want to know people where we're saying he's out of touch and in over his head. Wow, this sounds like something we say to good old Vince McMahon. I swear to God, this is stuff we say to Vince McMahon all the time. He's out of touch, and it's over in his head, you know? Oh man, what a fucking that was Vince just saying, "Fuck you guys, I'm gonna do what I want anyway." Ha ha ha! I'll apply it into a storyline. Thanks a lot, guys. So she's been back on SmackDown for weeks and hasn't had one match, while Raquel Rodriguez and Crocodile Tears Lacey Evans are both given qualifiers. Yeah, go figure that one out. She calls his in-ring career a failure. Clearly incorrect. The man is actually a 5-time NWA World Heavyweight Champion. That is 100% true. The only thing you can say is he didn't make it to a mainstream promotion so that people would know who the hell he is. But otherwise, as a performer in the indies, he has been pretty successful. And he books her a handicap match against Lacey and Raquel Rodriguez. Wow. Who cares? Lacey Evans and Raquel Rodriguez versus Sonya Deville, and she had Isaiah Lee and Shayna Baszler. Now, wasn't Zia Lee the protector, the face, a face character? Wasn't she a protector? Apparently, there's no one to protect because she wasn't there for months on end. So apparently she must have felt, hey, there's no one to protect. Might as well kick everybody's ass instead. That might give me some credibility to be on the show. Who the hell knows? Fucking retarded shit. Anyway, Lacey Evans and Raquel Rodriguez win by pinfall with the women's right from Evans to Sonya Deville. Big deal. Who gives a shit? Match was pointless and meaningless. All right, post-match, Baszler and Lee jump in the fray, but Raquel is strong enough to shrug them off, and baby faces prevail. Street Profits are backstage and excited about tonight's show. Why would you be excited about tonight's show? And secondly, you're a Raw fucking superstar. Go back to your own damn brand. But there's no brand. There's no brand rules, but we keep them on separate shows. Would somebody make up their fucking mind around here so we can figure out what the hell we should be expecting every single week? I mean, this is crazy. Anyway, Street Profits are backstage and excited about the show when they run into Los Lotharios kissing some poor girl. I don't think she was so poor. She looked pretty damn happy that she had two guys making out with her. Well, not making out with her, kissing both sides of her cheek. She felt very validated and very happy to have two guys interested in her at one time. Okay, so they keep moving and run into Drew Gulak. Wow, WWE is really knowing how to use Drew Gulak in the correct way by making him look like a fucking goofball backstage with the Street Profits and only just doing push-ups or whatever. Uh like pull-ups on furniture. I guess he thinks he's going to actually get a match. Keep dreaming, pal. He may want to start using some steroids to impress good old Vincent McMahon. He may get a nice stiffy and a hard on and go ahead and say, you know what, kid? I'm going to throw you in the fire. You know what? I'm going to put you in some good shit. Yeah, okay, Vince. You're going to put him in some good shit and make him look like a complete retard. Not like you haven't already done that or anyway, so it don't matter. Yeah, so he's working out on some ladders, and moving forward, they run into Madcap Moss and shake hands and congratulate him for beating Happy Corbin. Big deal. Angelo Dawkins, though, has a joke. Why did the coach go to the bank? And he says to get his quarterback. He starts laughing. I thought that was actually kind of funny. And that's it. I mean, I thought that was pretty funny. It was straightforward. It makes sense. And, you know, he went into the bank to get his quarterback. So nobody laughed but him. And everybody just stared at him like that was not a good joke. I thought it was a great joke. And it made sense. It was lame, but it still made sense. Oh boy, Natalia and Ronda Rousey. You know how JD, if you guys follow JD from New York 206, I think his commentary about Ronda Rousey is actually rather entertaining. And let me tell you something, when Natalia can actually cut a better promo than you have serious problems. And Natalia had more energy and more excitement to be there than Ronda Rousey ever does. She sounds like she's walking through Jello, and she has smoked a blunt before she came out to the arena to cut a fucking promo to the entire audience, making them have no reason to get excited about her segment on the show. But hey, what do I know? I'm just the guy behind a webcam talking about professional wrestling. So there you go. Anyway, we have Natalia pretending to be Ronda Rousey, dragging a stupid baby stroller down the aisle. So that's what took place there. She gets in the ring. She cuts a promo about Ronda Rousey mocking her whole deal and saying that after Natty almost made her tap, she realized sharpshooter is way deadlier than her armbar, and she doesn't stand a chance at the Money in the Bank. So she's going to get down and tap out right now. She apologizes to her fans, saying the best thing to do is to hand her title over Natalia and retire, grab her diaper bag and push her stroller and leave while she can. Wow, this is compelling shit, Vince. You and Bruce Pritchard are telling some compelling story here. We're making these two adult people make fun of each other and shit on one another just to get a story across to us. What a joke. Oh man, is there anything this guy can do that's maybe sports related storytelling instead of like a fucking mockery show? I mean, do some reality TV or some kind of shit, anything. This is just downright utterly ridiculous at this point. But hey, I'm sitting here talking about it, and yet I hate it to death. Go figure it out for me, right? Like, you guys are probably saying, if you hate it so damn much and you're doing it for free, what the fuck you covering this shit? Cover something you enjoy. But I like professional wrestling altogether. I get good views on WWE. That's another reason. But folks, this shit sucks. So enters the actual Ronda Rousey. She talks about how she doesn't mutilate her body to impossible beauty industry standards like Natty does, and she's not gonna just hand the title over. She gets in Natty's face and tears her jacket off of her, but Nineheart blasts her with the stroller a couple of times. Yeah, this is really great stuff. Oh my goodness gracious. So Natalia runs away and Ronda takes the jacket as a trophy. It's like she needs two fucking jackets, especially with the way the temperatures are now worldwide in the United States. I mean, I don't think she needs two jackets. I don't even think she needs one jacket. But anyway, I'm just screwing around here. Drew McIntyre and Sheamus are interviewed backstage. They bicker at each other. Drew says he'll just do the job himself, and Sheamus tells him he better bring his A game tonight. And that's pretty much all there was there. Okay, so Marcel Bartel is what I'm calling him. His actual name now is Ludwig Kaiser. Gives Gunther his big intro, and we go to break at that point. Oh man, these names that they changed their names to, oh, what character killers right there, man. What a joke. I just don't understand it. Why they couldn't keep him as Walter. Tell him, hey, just lose the weight. That's what we would prefer you to do. Keep the name as is. That's it. They didn't have to change any name. Walter to Gunther? Like, what? What is the point of that? I still don't understand what was the point of changing their names so they can lose their identity and the value that they got from being those characters in the indies. That's so stupid. Anyway, Gunther defended his Intercontinental Championship against Ricochet. Go figure this one out. Ricochet lost. Oh my. Is that shocking? I don't think so. But yeah, Gunther wins with a major power bomb and a 1-2-3 on Ricochet. So Paul Heyman is backstage. Oh, this segment with Sami Zayn was a joke. This was another illogical script writing by Bruce and Vince McMahon. These two ought to get fired soon. Hey, Steph, you know, the first thing you ought to do, you shouldn't have fired John Laurinaitis as the first thing. This is me just kidding around, but seriously, John Laurinaitis shouldn't have been the first one fired. Bruce and Vince should have been fired first. Then we should have fired John Laurinaitis and brought Triple H in to run all of WWE as a creative writer and get his own fucking team to produce a better show for all of us to enjoy. Because this shit sucks. Anyway, Paul Heyman is interviewed backstage, but Sami Zayn rolls up to save him from answering any questions. Basically, what Kyla Braxton was asking him is his thoughts on the situation with the Money in the Bank winner and with his client facing Brock Lesnar, of somebody possibly cashing in on him after the match is over. So he blames Sami Zayn blames Kayla for making him come off like he was going to cash in on Roman Reigns earlier tonight. Talking about when Sami Zayn won the match, they interviewed him. I actually didn't talk about that. I skipped that segment. My apologies, but I didn't think it was all that important. But for making him come off like he was going to cash in on Roman Reigns, which he would never do. But he did say, and Paul was starting to like him. He was putting an arm around him as like he was one of the boys. And he said, but I will admit, I will cash in on Brock Lesnar. And then Paul Heyman slowly starts pulling his hand away from Sami Zayn as a way of, making him feel like he's part of the group of the bloodline. And that line was the dumbest fucking thing I ever heard. come out of anybody's mouth in any storyline. They made him come across like a dope. That is ridiculous, man. What the hell would you do that? He didn't have to say anything. He just should have said, "Look, I'm not ever going to cash in on Roman Reigns." That's all he had to say. Now, he could have said this. He could have said, out of respect for Roman Reigns, I would like to challenge him for the undisputed Universal Championship, not after he's done with a match, but head to head in a scheduled match for a pay per view. That would have been okay for him to say and wouldn't have made him look like an asshole. It would have just made him look like he was interested in trying to advance his career and earn the respect of Roman Reigns. That would have been actually a lot smarter for him to say than him to go ahead and say, hey, I'll just cash in on Brock Lesnar, as to say Brock Lesnar is going to win the undisputed Universal Championship. What the fuck? What a retard, man. That was dumb. Anyway, Shotzi Blackheart was on television tonight facing Tamina in a qualifying match. This is funny. Shotzi Blackheart has not won any matches on television, yet she wins this one. Tamina has been on television more than Shotzi, and Tamina has won more matches, yet she loses. This guy, Vince and Bruce Pritchard, are flat out dumb as shit. Shotzi Blackheart wins the match. Whoop-de-doo. We get a recap of the Viking Raiders beating the New Day up, and the Viking Raiders cut a promo about how they've been forgotten, and now they're going to rip anyone who gets in their way apart, and no one is safe. Okay, this sounds very familiar from other gimmicks that have come up from obscurity and are trying to gain, the rights to be on television and for people to remember them. But I don't know. Adam3817 asked me, do you like the Viking Raiders? Yeah, I do like the Viking Raiders. I just don't like how they've been booked. That's the problem. But yeah, when they were the War Raiders in NXT and they were heavy, the machine, War Machine in Ring of Honor and the Indies, they were great. They were a really good tag team, man. And War Raiders, you can check them out on NXT on Peacock, and you'll find that they have some amazing work they did on pay-per-views. If you want to go back and watch the Royal Rumble, I think it was 2019, that was great. So just my feelings on that. And Daniel states, I think War Raiders sounded better, but they had to change it for no reason. Yeah, that's Vince McMahon for you. Anyway. All right, so Max Dupree is talking to somebody backstage, and we go to break. Back from break, the spotlight is on the ring with the debut of the Maximum Male Models again. But none of this happens. You want to know why nothing is happening with this group, this so-called Maximum Male Models? I'll tell you why. Because they haven't figured out who the characters are in this gimmick yet. That's the problem. That's why there hasn't been an introduction. But yeah, Max Dupree, formerly known as LA Knight, and also Eli Drake. Dummy, yeah. Staying in WWE, dummy move, yeah. Give me a break, man. This guy has so much fucking talent and potential to be a mega star, and they're using him like a fucking bunch of puzzolas. What a bunch of geeks. So we go backstage with Max Dupree and Adam Pearce. Max is mad again and refuses to let his men come down because he doesn't have any groups of guys to use for this gimmick yet. That's the reason why. This week, because Adam failed to provide the dressing room attire or whatnot. Temperature was wrong. The refrigerator was wrong. And if Pierce can't handle a dressing room, he can't send his models out to debut. Wow. What a prima donna. What the fuck? All right. Anyway, Pierce promises that he'll get it right next week. Why doesn't Pierce just look at him and say, "Go fuck yourself and get lost. Your group sucks anyway." Might as well just tell him that. Anyway, at ringside, Pat McAfee gets on the mic and calls out Happy Corbin for stumbling his bitch ass over to the desk to complain about the way he does his job, and we get a recap of this as well. Pat says he enjoys his life so much that when he walked into the Thunderdome the first time, all he could think was how alive he felt. He's going to kick Happy Corbin's teeth down his throat and feel more alive than ever at SummerSlam. So we get our first main event entrances and go to break. This is the Drew McIntyre Sheamus match against the Usos. Very easy to predict. The Usos lose with Drew McIntyre. I believe it was Drew McIntyre. Give me a second. Yeah, he wins with a Claymore kick on Jimmy Uso, and they qualify for the Money in the Bank ladder match. By the way, I wanted to mention as a side note, throughout the entire show, they had Pete Dunne going ahead and acting like a fucking pit bull. This guy looked like a schmuck. He really did. He kept trying to chase after whoever was, pissing off Sheamus, or he was mostly doing this with Drew McIntyre. And Ridge Holland would hold him back like he was a fucking dog. Hey, Rover, hold back now. Scooby Dooby Doo. Like, what the fuck? Scooby Dooby Doo. I'm going to eat his face off. Like, let me at him. Like, what the hell? Oh, man. What a joke. What a fucking laughing stock this company is, man. Holy shit. What a joke, man. But, yeah. Wow. I don't know, man. Let me go through the other comments made by Adam3817, because he did a lot of talking. Actually, I got quite a few other comments I got to go through here. I might have not answered or read. Anyway, Adam3817 says, I like the Viking Raiders and I like to learn about the actual Vikings too. I like history. All right, cool. Adam3817 also stated, I don't like this Max Dupree guy. Yeah, his name actually sucks. And I did see that you stated you like LA Knight a lot better, the name anyway. Looked like you retracted another comment. I don't know what that was, but no problem. I'll read the last one. Adam3817 will defeat Adam Pearce in the War of Atoms at SummerSlam next month. Okay. Well, I think Adam Pearce is retired because I think it was 2020. Yeah, 2021. He challenged, actually, Roman Reigns wanted to challenge Adam Pearce to a one-on-one match at the Royal Rumble for his Universal Championship, and that was denied, and Kevin Owens was announced as the opponent for Roman Reigns in the last man standing match, may I add. That's another good one. Last man standing match again for Roman Reigns, and now this is against Brock Lesnar instead of Kevin Owens. So go figure that one out. Anyway, let me see if there was any other comments made up above. A lot by Adam3817. Bro, you are on fire tonight, man. You are the MVP of the chat tonight, man. You are all over the place, talking away like nobody's business. All right. Let me see here. Adam3817 stated that Lesnar's attitude too would fool me. His heel character would make me think he was a bad guy. He was actually a bad guy throughout most of his time in 2018 up to now, until recently. So yeah, he was playing a heel role most of the time, but he didn't have to cheat to win. He won all of his matches by winning clean. That was the only difference between him and another heel. Other heels, they cheat to win. He doesn't. He wins by clean finishes and what have you. Once in a blue moon, he'll try to cheat with a title belt or something like that. But you have to give him a real rough time to put him in that position based on the way they booked him before. Adam 3817 also stated that Rematch World WWE WWR World Wrestling Rematches. Yeah, I think I've heard that one before. And you also stated I have to check out that Disney parody you made. Yeah, if you scroll through those videos I got, I think I did it definitely this year. It's somewhere I believe in the early portion of this year. I think like February or March, just around the WrestleMania road to WrestleMania season. So you might be able to catch it around there. Shouldn't take you too long to get to it. And you click on that. I think like I did like a 2-minute video and that was it. But it was pretty damn funny for the 2 minutes I did. Adam 3817 says Adam Pearce's birthday was today, I think. Yeah, they mentioned that on the show. You also stated that you liked my impression of Vince McMahon. I appreciate that. I'm glad I gave you a good laugh out of that. And the rest of it was history. We discussed everything else. And that's pretty. Oh, and there's a couple more comments by Daniel and Adam 3817. Daniel says, I know Cena is usually in WWE, but we just can't see him at all. Is that supposed to be a joke or is that serious? I don't know what the fuck you mean by that was a good one, man. Good joke there, Daniel. Adam 3817 says that Daniel Cena is hiding backstage in a diaper looking for treasure. Baby John. Wow, you guys are really saying some off the wall shit tonight. Damn. John Cena in a diaper. All right. I don't think that's possible, but if he was the New Year baby, I guess that would work. I mean, Big Show did it once. Pretty fucking creepy shit. Didn't really like that segment and glad it doesn't happen anymore because I really get creeped out by it. Anyway, let's move on to real wrestling. Let's try AEW Rampage. Yeah, Rampage, guys. You know, Rampage, AEW, All Elite Wrestling, where they actually care about wrestling. They don't want to make their performers look like a bunch of freaking retards. Well, they actually did something great tonight. They got us excited for Forbidden Door with the hour that they had. They produced a damn decent show. I enjoyed this. This is pretty good. So Andrade El Idolo faced Rey Fenix in an excellent 20-plus minute barn burner of a match for a 1-hour show. They took up most of the show, and it was great. I enjoyed this match. Andrade defeated Rey Fenix in this match. All right, after the match was over, Rush and Andrade ripped off Rey Fenix's mask, and both heels are wearing La Facan and Ingobernables t-shirts. I don't know how to fucking pronounce that. Sorry. And Penta Oscuro comes out and chases them away. Eddie Kingston cuts a promo for Blood and Guts. He can't wait to taste Chris Jericho's blood next week, which he tries to do later on in the show in the main event. After the main event ends, which was pretty chaotic. We then had Serena Deeb and Mercedes Martinez face Sierra and Lena Luck, which was a very quick match. Serena Deeb and Mercedes Martinez wins this match, with Mercedes Martinez applying a inverted dragon sleeper and Serena Deeb applying a half Boston grab and making both of their opponents tap out. There's a hype video / promo for Tully Blanchard's Enterprises with Brian Cage as the centerpiece. Nothing really exciting there, but they're finally getting behind this idea of the Tully Blanchard Enterprises and finally getting Brian Cage on television, which is important because I've missed what he could offer to this company. Jonathan Gresham and Lee Moriarty are interviewed backstage. Tully Blanchard interrupts a tag team match is set up pitting Grisham and Moriarty against Tully Blanchard's Enterprises. They didn't really make it official on who will be facing them from Tully Blanchard's group, but that should be announced later on in the future. Now we have Hook versus the DKC. This was actually a very short, quick to the point matchup, and Hook wins the match in less than 2 minutes. Mark Henry interviews Cash Wheeler and Jeff Cobb ahead of their main event, which is coming up next. And then Jeff Cobb defeats Cash Wheeler in a pretty decent, okay match. I was a bit surprised that they had 2 tag team champions going at it in a singles competition, which is more WWE type style stuff. But with it being the case of 2 tag team champions that are going to be in a winner take all match with the Ring of Honor and IWGP tag team titles, I didn't see any big harm in it. It's a one and done deal. It's not like they're ever going to do this kind of stuff again. So it's not like we should shit all over them for doing something like this, which is usually done by WWE in most cases. But they did it in just a one-time only type of deal. Adam 3817 says AEW versus WWE war. Never gonna happen. Let's be real, folks. WWE is not in war with anybody. They're not in competition with anybody. They're not trying to compete. They're not in it to win it, plain and simple. That is their way of doing things. You can tell by watching the show. They're not trying to do anything important. They're just collecting the cash and getting ready for that big sellout for the company and selling it off to somebody else who can deal with the fucking problem, because they don't want to deal with the problem. They don't want to do anything important. I wouldn't be surprised that Vince and Bruce Pritchard get drunk crazy with each other and swap girlfriends and what have you. I don't know. Yeah, the guy is fucking weird. The guy's already being sued for malpractice in his own business. Not like malpractice in like the health field, but doing inappropriate, unethical things in the business, and which clearly that's what was going on here. And he was giving the woman hush money by increasing her raise and giving her $200,000 a year in a 3-year period. So I have no idea, man. Really. After the match ended, by the way, there was a war that broke out. Everybody from like Will Ospreay, Orange Cassidy, we had the other members from the tag team winner take all match that's taking place. We had all kinds of shit taking place and just unfolding before our very eyes. We had Eddie Kingston show up on the commentary booth, beating the shit out of Chris Jericho, trying to stab him with a pen, trying to make him bleed so he can taste his own blood before Blood and Guts. I think the whole thing was insane. Excellent stuff. Very entertaining. Great little brawl. It was better than Dynamite. Dynamite's ending kind of felt like I was watching an inverted version of a fucking Royal Rumble go home show building up for a Royal Rumble pay-per-view match. That's what I kind of felt like I was watching there. But hey, it is what it is. And this was a good way of ending the show, I feel. And it was pretty entertaining. Got me hyped up a little bit for Forbidden Door. If you guys are not hyped up for Forbidden Door, what the hell are you guys doing? Do you not like wrestling or what? I know it's not the best build that AEW has done. I will admit storyline building for this pay-per-view has not been all that exciting. But as work rate and matches booked here goes, we have to admit we're going to have a very exciting work quality taking place in this event. Let's be real. If you guys are not familiar with New Japan Wrestling is more of a work rate type of promotion. They're not all about building storylines and doing stuff like that. They're more about building good matches and having the two competitors go all out and kick each other's ass and give us the most entertaining match we can possibly remember for a very long time. And they've done that. So kudos to them. I think this show is going to be entertaining. Will it be the most amazing pay-per-view AEW's ever produced? I don't think so, but I think we should be very pleasantly happy with what we get for $49.99, though. That I will say. Anyway, let me get into the comments here by Daniel and Adam3817. So Daniel says, I bet wherever Randy Orton is, he'll just RKO out of nowhere. Ha ha ha. Okay. Adam3817 says Tony Khan versus Vincent McMahon, WrestleMania 39. Oh my God. What are we doing? Are we doing reenactments of the Monday Night Wars? Eric Bischoff versus Vincent McMahon. They tried to do that in WCW. I think it was going towards a Super Brawl pay-per-view in 1998 or something. And Eric Bischoff was issuing a challenge to Vincent McMahon and never showed up, or it might have been in 97 at the trying to remember. I think it was Super Brawl, or not Super Brawl, but Spring Stampede, or what was the May pay-per-view? I forgot what the May pay-per-view was in WCW. Let me check this out. Can't fucking remember the damn pay-per-view. Hold on. Pull it up. Slamboree. I think it was Slamboree, possibly, that they did that. I'm not sure. But yeah, they did something like that, and that would be weird if they brought something like that up in modern day wrestling. I doubt they will, though. Adam3817 also says, what an amazing live stream, dude. I appreciate it, man. Thank you. I know I'm not the greatest in the world. I don't cut the best, talk on, I don't talk the best on YouTube, but I know what the fuck I'm talking about. If you guys didn't think I did, you guys wouldn't stay subscribed. I mean, let's get real. Anyway, Adam3817 says, you like UFC? Yes, I do. I do cover it once in a while. Very rare, but I do cover it from time to time on here. I'm been wanting to try to implement it into the channel, but I haven't gotten as many views as I do like AEW and WWE stuff, so kind of stayed away from it. But I'm not sure if I could fit it in my busy schedule, because I want to actually have a life too, besides just doing all YouTube shit. So apologize to you guys. I know you appreciate my work, or you guys wouldn't tune in every single week. But yeah, I don't know about doing UFC on a weekly basis, but UFC, yes, I do enjoy watching their content, and I think they provide good stuff. Anyway, Adam3817 says, remember when Daniel Cormier called out Brock Lesnar? Yeah, the match that never happened, which I wish would have. I think that would have been an awesome fight between those two guys. And you also stated that you're the greatest. I appreciate the compliment once again, Adam3817. Rachel Buck says, I heard from JD from New York 206 say Pretty Deadly is being brought up to be teamed up with LA Knight and his new gimmick. What do you think? Pretty Deadly. Who's Pretty Deadly? I don't know who fucking Pretty Deadly is. Is that some group from fucking from NXT that I haven't heard of, from NXT 2.0? Because it sure as hell ain't from the black and gold brand of NXT. I never heard of it. Oh, yeah, it's from the 2.0. I'd never heard of them. Don't know who the hell they are. I don't watch NXT 2.0 and never will. If I hear any changes to NXT, which is back to the old school of NXT, I will definitely go back and start watching it again. That is actually something I will bring up to you guys later on in the future on a random wrestling talk episode number 24, which we will have on Monday night. I will not be doing a Raw watch along, so do not anticipate that. That is never happening again for 3 hours. Fuck that shit. But we will be going over the news about Triple H coming back into WWE, working in NXT again. But and what has happened with our good old buddy Bruce and what he is doing. Supposedly he is now taking over John Laurinaitis's position. So there you go. Daniel says World of Wrestling for YouTube Hall of Fame. I greatly appreciate that, but I highly doubt that'll ever happen. I think JD from New York 206 deserves all the credit in the world for what he does on this platform. I know I bring him up a lot. He's definitely a inspiration for this channel, most definitely. I think after I watched his video, the first video I ever saw of him in 2015, I think that's what encouraged me to want to start doing my own YouTube channel, which has been unsuccessful based on the numbers, but based on the interaction I get with you guys enjoy what I have to say. And I'm not like getting only 4 or 5 people. I get them like that live, but afterwards I get a lot of other views from other people that tune in to watch this stuff and actually comment in the comments down below on these videos. So I appreciate you guys, and I'm happy that I'm providing good enough content to stay relevant and actually have a reason to continue to do these videos for you guys. Rachel Buck says, oh yeah, she already stated that about NXT 2.0. Rachel Buck also states that Triple H might go back to the black and gold because he said, and I quote, he's back. We don't know if he's back, but he said he's back. Yeah, I'm not counting on anything with him. I really have lost all interest in him because he is willing to bend over backwards for Vince McMahon, and he doesn't particularly what he should have done is what his wife did, is just walk away and go live your life, be with your kids and with your wife and enjoy life. You guys have made plenty of fucking money. You don't need this shit. And you don't have to prove yourself to anybody, especially people like myself or anyone in the chat. You guys have proven that you are good creators of professional wrestling and could entertain us. But because your father-in-law and father is an asshole, we're never going to get anything like that. So what's the point in killing yourselves and making yourselves go crazy at your age? I mean, seriously, Triple H got a heart attack. Me, I'd be like, fuck off, man. I'm done. See ya. I'm going to spend time with my kids. I ain't got time for this shit no more. That's what I'd do. But that's just me. Rachel Buck says, what do you think of the match of Baron Corbin and Pat McAfee at SummerSlam? I already mentioned this. Don't care. Don't give a shit. And do you think Pat McAfee will put on a good match with Baron Corbin? Yeah, I think he can do that, but I think Baron Corbin will lose that match easily. I think Baron Corbin will continue to lose that match. All right. So Adam 3817, and after this, I will be going off. I will be closing up shop because I am burnt. It is 1:37 in 1 hour and 38 minutes in. It's 12:54 a.m. here in the east side of the U.S. So it's getting kind of late for me, and I want to go ahead and relax before I pass out to sleep and wake up the next day for Saturday, which we're already in the day of Saturday anyway, so whatever. Anyway, Adam 3817 says, this is random, but back when I hated Lesnar in 2018, I would listen to Baron Corbin Lone Wolf theme song, and I'll make you feel the wrath of my ways. I'd pretend the song was to diss Brock Lesnar. Okay. Adam 3817 says, what an awesome stream. Can't wait for the next time. What an awesome stream. Can't wait for the next time. Get some rest, man. You deserve it, bro. Appreciate it. And he also states, what not wood. Sorry, I messed up. Okay. Yeah, no worries, man. I got what you were saying there. When you tried to correct yourself, I was like, what is he talking Anyway, guys, I appreciate you coming in here. For the guys that caught me live, I appreciate it. For the people that come in and watch this after the show is over, please hit that like button, hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed to the channel. And as always, if you have any comments or concerns or questions you'd like to ask me in the comments down below, I'll definitely get back to you on that. And I thank you guys very much for watching, and have a great night, guys. Bye.